Hey everyone, it's Ryder from Skip. First, if you could use a $1,000 or $5,000 grant, it's the last call to enter our grants this month. We are picking winners tomorrow. You can enter in a few seconds. Plus, I'll give a couple tips on how you can increase your chances of winning one of these grants. Second, a quick recap on today's economic news, including new stock market and housing news I think you'll find interesting. Third, the SBA has released a brand new report on the performance of their loan programs. I'm going to share some interesting data with you there, but mostly I'm going to make sure that you're entered into our $1,000 and $5,000 grants. As always, thanks for tuning in, and if you're new, consider subscribing. And if you find this valuable, hit the like button. It takes a second and it really helps us because we have been donating our YouTube revenue back to subscribers of this channel, users of the Skip website and app for over 2 years. We've given out over six figures, grants ranging from $200, $500, $1,000 up to $5,000. We're continuing to do this through 2023. In fact, we're substantially increasing the number of grants we're giving out. So there's a direct correlation with you hitting the like button and the amount of money we can give back to entrepreneurs and small businesses that are part of the Skip community. And here are the grants that are due tomorrow. If you haven't entered, go to helloskip.com/1K. We're going live at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 Pacific to pick one $5,000 winner and two $1,000 winners. Plus, there may be some bonus picks in there. And while you're at it, don't forget to fill out our 2022 recap survey. There are some really interesting insights here, people describing the state of their business, what some of the challenges were this year in 2022, and what they're going to do in 2023 to improve, to strengthen, to fund their business. 2022recap.com. Go fill out the survey so you are included and so you get early access to all of this data. I think no matter what type of business you have, or if you're just an entrepreneur with an idea, this report will be really insightful. And as always, if you could use one-on-one help getting funding, growing your business, and you want to work with our team, use the link in the description or go to helloskip.com/join. On the economy, U.S. stock futures rise today ahead of a new consumer data report. In fact, consumer confidence has hit an 8-month high as worries about inflation and a recession fade. Is this just a temporary improvement? Personally, I think it might be, but in any event, the stock market is responding positively. Here's the report released by the Conference Board. Consumer confidence survey reflects prevailing business conditions and likely developments for the months ahead. This monthly report details consumer attitudes, buying intentions, vacation plans, and consumer expectations for inflation, stock prices, and interest rates. We can take a look here and see the uptick, that it's gone higher than it has over the past 8 months. And a few things on the horizon. Consumers were less pessimistic about the short-term business condition outlook in December. 20% of consumers expect business conditions to improve in the next 6 months. 20% expect conditions to worsen. Consumers were also more upbeat about the short-term labor market. Again, these are small numbers, half a percentage point here or there, but overall it's a positive trend. And as a result, the stock market has gone up today. The flip side on the housing market, U.S. home sales dropped to 7.7% in November, a record 10th straight month of declines. This is, of course, expected as the Fed continues to raise interest rates. Existing home sales have dropped about 37% from their recent peak in January. Mortgage rates surged to above 7% in early November from 3.1% at the end of 2021. So that's today's economic news. The one big surprise is the increase in consumer confidence. And the question remains, will that continue through early 2023? And what's your opinion? Are you optimistic about the economy over the next 6 months? Drop it in the comments. Okay, here is the new SBA report on performance of their loan programs going back 10 years to 2013. Just want to point out a couple trends. First, take a look at these increases here. The value of 7As given out in 2013 was $18 billion. This year, it's been $25 billion. That's down from last year's high of $36 billion. The point is, 7A is still an incredibly popular program. We're helping tons of businesses successfully navigate, find a lender, and apply for 7A loans. Same with 504 in 2013. $5 billion was approved. This year, over $8 billion in 504 regular loans has been approved. PPP has a line item here which is staggering. Take a look at this. And by the way, if you haven't seen it yet, we did a full in-depth video on PPP, the untold story, and the amount of fraud that was enabled by a couple fintech companies in particular. It's really insightful. Go watch that video if you haven't. PPP, $578 billion given out in 2020 and $287 billion in 2021. Those are massive amounts, makes everything else look like peanuts here. For direct microloans this year, this is a good sign. $51 billion has been given out. These are those loans 50K and under, which are relevant to a lot of you who are entrepreneurs or small businesses, 1, 2, 3 people, a small number of employees who just could use some of these smaller loan amounts. The microloan program is still thriving. And going down to the disaster loans, there's the traditional disaster EIDL and there's the COVID EIDL. This year, $2 billion has been approved for disaster EIDL loans. Also this year, and this was the first 4 months of the year, January through April, when COVID EIDL was still going strong, people trying to meet the deadline, $123 billion was approved for COVID EIDL funding this year alone. All told, $164 billion was approved through SBA programs this year, down from $417 billion last year and a high of $804 billion in 2020. Would love to hear what you think about that. Finally, don't forget helloskip.com/1K. We're picking 5K and 1K grant winners tomorrow. And if you want extra entries for those, be sure you're following us on our Instagram at hello.skip and on our LinkedIn page. We're at Skip on LinkedIn. Look for the Skip logo there. And if you follow us there, we're going to ask you about it tomorrow and you'll get extra entries. So be sure you've entered first. Then, if you want extra entries to increase your chance of winning, go follow us on those social medias and feel free to spread the word, give someone an early holiday present by telling them to enter. Hey, if they win, maybe they'll share some of the winnings with you. So feel free to spread the word. As always, thanks for tuning in. Most importantly, stay well, stay healthy, and I'll see you tomorrow.